Have you ever been scrolling through social media or chatting with a friend and suddenly felt that sinking feeling? The one where you start thinking, why am I not as successful as them? Why am I not as accomplished as they are? Or maybe you've wondered why everyone else seems to have it all figured out while you're still trying to figure things out. I've definitely been there too. It's so easy to fall into the comparison trap, and before you know it, you're stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. And so today, I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite tips to stop comparing yourself to others. Hi, I'm Jenny, and my channel is about K-beauty, self-care, and self-improvement. And if you're interested in those topics, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's dive right in. So we have tip number 1, limit social media exposure. If social media is your comparison trigger, it might be time to cut down a little. And I know it's hard, but trust me, setting limits can make a huge difference. Try unfollowing or muting accounts that don't make you feel good, and instead follow people who uplift you or inspire you. I used to do this on LinkedIn, where I would see some of my classmates from college or high school get great jobs at good company, or they're already a manager or directors in their field, and my toxic self start asking myself, why am I still at the bottom? And because of that, I stopped scrolling through LinkedIn, and I would only just check my messages or the jobs tab. Everything else I would just ignore all those posts that people are posting, because I know going through those posts, seeing people getting promoted and things like that just triggers me to compare myself to them. Even if LinkedIn isn't your problem, maybe you're going on Instagram and you're like jealous of these influencers living nice, lavish lifestyles, then you can either unfollow them, or you could just do like what I did, like practicing the 90-10 rule of social media. So what I did was spending 90% of the time sharing with friends and family about what I love and doing, and then only using 10% looking at posts. So like 90% of the time you're just, sharing your things, like posting on Instagram or just sharing a post, reposting whatever you do on Instagram or TikTok, and then 10% you scroll through it, if you want. I try not to scroll through it as much because I tend to compare myself to others. If you're somewhat similar to me, then yeah, I would suggest you doing the 90-10 rule. This keeps the focus on your passions instead of getting caught up in someone else's, highlights and reels and things like that. And whether, if you're the type of person who doesn't like sharing things on social media and you just go on it to just look at stuff on social media, then try just doing 10% of that, looking, and then just work on something you love. It's just so you're not doom scrolling and then you get into that toxic mindset of, okay, why am I not like this? Why don't I have this? Number 2, focus on your own journey. One thing you should remember is everyone's journey is different. It's so easy to get caught up in someone else's success story, but progress is personal. Keep celebrating your wins, big or small. Reward yourself by treating yourself to something that makes you feel good or feel happy, like, I don't know, getting your eyelashes done or treating yourself to a nice meal. I like treating myself to a small shopping spree at the Japanese grocery store because I like Japanese snacks and I like trying new snacks too, like new traditional snacks that I've never seen before. The Japanese market is a bit farther from my usual go-to stores that I go to, so it does feel kind of like a trip and a reward to go to actually like make plans to actually go there. So it really does feel like a treat to me. So whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you happy, reward yourself with that, and it'll kind of help you focus more on improving yourself rather than seeing what others are doing. Number 3, practice gratitude daily. Gratitude journals are a great way to shift your mindset from what you don't have to what you already have. And writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day, it'll help you appreciate your own life more. I'll be honest, although this wasn't very effective to me, I thought I would mention it since I've heard it was effective for some people, like my close friends. And one tip I think would help make this work a little better is thinking of 3 different things you're grateful for every single day. It'll probably get difficult as you get to like 3 months in, or maybe even a month in, but look for little things that you could have that not many others would have. Because I found myself being repetitive with what I am grateful for, like, oh, I'm glad to have a roof over my head, I'm glad to have such supportive family, blah blah blah. I constantly wrote like the same things, and it just felt like it wasn't working for me. So maybe try to list something different all the time, or as much as you can, so that you start to gradually realize how much you have, rather than always repeating the same thing over and over and you only think you're grateful for a couple things. Just thought I would mention it because my friend had told me that she liked the gratitude journal because she always felt like she was missing something. She always felt empty or something like that. And so when she was doing the gratitude journal, she was gradually looking for smaller things. Like, she's grateful to have jewelry to wear whenever she goes out to meet a friend. She was grateful to have money to be able to put gas in her car. She was also grateful to have money to be able to wash her car. Like, she went into a lot of details. And tip number 4, replace jealousy with inspiration. Instead of feeling down when you see someone doing well, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? It's all about changing the perspective from comparison to inspiration. Your mindset is very important. How you think about a situation and what you say to yourself helps. As a small business owner, I tend to compare myself to other small business owners, and whenever I see them like succeeding and they're expanding, or they're moving and quitting their 9-to-5s, instead of comparing how amazing their lives seem on Instagram or social media or anywhere they post, like on YouTube, I started looking into what they are doing with their business and trying to figure out what I can do to implement something similar into my business if it's relevant. Sometimes I would also be comparing their content to my content. Like, what are they filming? How are they filming it? Are they adding color composition to it? Are they doing vlog style videos? Are they posting content every day? Are they posting content twice a week or once a month? Just figuring out what they're doing and comparing it and seeing how if it would work on me better, or if I prefer to stick to my own style. Just trial and error. When I'm doing this, I realize that I'm not focused on what they have and what I don't have. I'm more focused on improving myself to be like them, or to be similar to them, or to be better than them. So, like, in a way, just trying to improve myself, focusing on myself definitely helps keep my mind off of the whole comparison issue, and while preventing myself from focusing on what I don't have and what I'm lacking. And what you can also do is start asking yourself why. Why are you comparing yourself to these people? With curiosity though, no judgment or anything. Just ask yourself what is causing you to compare yourself to them. What is it that you desire that they have that you don't have? Is it the money that they're earning from their jobs, or is it their lifestyle, or like you love how they look? They're very fit, they're very put together and everything. Then you could also change. You can make your improvements. Go to the gym, get a haircut, have like a daily beauty routine. Whatever you feel like you are missing, you can always go for it. Try to improve yourself with that. You can always just go for that. And who knows, maybe when you're trying to improve yourself by seeing them as inspiration, you can even be better than them, right? You never know until you try. So just try to look at it that way, instead of telling yourself what you're lacking. And adding to that would be tip number 5, engage in self-care and hobbies. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed by comparison, I take a break and do something I love, like playing video games, watching Korean dramas, or just getting creative with some new designs for my business, and creating new YouTube videos. So find what brings you joy and really lean into it. Even just going out for a walk with your dog or going out with your friends, just do something that other than comparing yourself, thinking about what you lacked. And something that I try to do as often as I can is doing a detox routine. Sometimes we all need a break from like external influences like your phones, right, your social media, and like work text messages, everything. Just take a day to unplug and do something just for you. No Instagram, no TikTok, just you and yourself. Just take yourself on a date or something. Just get away from your phone for a bit. I think this is kind of why I find designing new things really relaxing, because I'm not looking at my phone, like not looking at my text messages, not looking at my social media, not thinking about work. I'm just focusing on the designs. And maybe you can start a new hobby like painting, drawing, graphic designing. But if you're not someone who's artsy or anything, you can start learning a new sport. You can also just go out to a new park that's not in your area, right? Or learn how to do pottery, or I don't know, there's a lot of great new activities these days that you can just go out and try. So try it. Just try to keep yourself away from your phone, at least for a couple hours. And to add to this, track energy spikes instead of achievements. Pay attention to what makes you feel truly energized and not something that you achieved. You're trying to find something that gives you energy rather than something that you're trying to impress others. I think finding this is key, because if you find something that you're really, really excited about, you're not thinking about going on to your social media or anything, or you're not even thinking about what others are doing, what others are achieving. You're only thinking about yourself and that hobby. So find something that really makes you excited and do it. Number 6, set personal goals and track progress. So setting small and achievable goals helps you stay focused on yourself rather than getting caught up in what others are doing with their lives. And it's also so satisfying to look back and see how far you've come. Like, I'm usually a to-do list type of person who likes to check off the things that I finished throughout the day. And whenever I feel like I'm not doing enough for work, I like to look back at my calendar and see my completed to-do lists throughout the months, the year, and it shows that I'm making consistent progress every day at my own pace. One thing that also helped me was, instead of writing to-do lists, so like what I do is I like to schedule my to-do list on my Notion calendar. And so on to-do list, instead of writing to-do list, because that's what I would usually do, like write to-do list for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then have a list inside it. But instead of writing to-do list as the title, I would just write a motivating message for myself, like, you can do this, Jenny, or keep going, never give up, don't give up. Just motivating messages, so that whenever I look back now, it's not just to-do list, like, it's boring, you know. But when you go back and look at your Notion calendar or whatever calendar you have with the to-do list, it has motivating messages for yourself. And seeing those messages, for me, it made me feel proud of myself, because I was committing to the work despite not wanting to do it or not feeling like doing it. It just showed that I was committed to the work and I made consistent progress. And it also kind of allowed me to feel at peace with myself when I'm taking a break. I'm usually the type of person who never feels like I'm doing enough, so I tend to overwhelm myself with more work. So instead of doing that now, I can feel at ease and just tell myself, look what you've done for the past couple weeks, days, months, and now you deserve a break. Like, you can take that break now, you know? So it just makes me feel at peace. Because I don't know about you, but that's me. Like, I tend to feel like I'm never doing enough. So if you're someone like that, maybe try doing that. It might help. And if you don't like to do to-do lists, I know there are a lot of people who don't like to-do lists either, who don't like to-do lists. You could create a brag file. So I kind of got this idea from Your Rich BFF, I think that was her name, Vivian too. And she talked about doing this for a promotion, a job promotion, where you would take screenshots of like emails of, you know, your coworkers or manager, whoever, saying thank you, or you're doing a great job, you know, or you finished the project and it turned out to be a really great job or something like that. You would keep screenshots of those messages or projects, and then you would hold on to it until next time you ask for a promotion. You have that brag file to show to your manager, and your manager can show it to whoever their higher up is. But yeah, I do this for work and for my own personal reasons too. My personal brag file would basically be about how someone either complimented me on my designs, or if someone wrote a nice comment on Instagram, or my random TikTok videos doing good all of a sudden, things like that. Like, I would just write something that makes me feel happy, and whenever I would look back, I would feel happy just looking at it, you know? It's kind of like a memory book, I guess. Like something that you want to keep in your memories, something that will remind you that things are going great. You can take screenshots of emails and put it in your Microsoft document or whatever document program you're using. Or if you're more of an old-fashioned style person like me, you can write it in a journal, whatever is easier. I think putting it in your Apple Notes or whatever note app you have is also very helpful. So whatever works for you. It's nice to just have it handy whenever something happens, and you can just write it or save it, rather than turn on the computer, do this and do that. And obviously for work it's different, but yeah, just do whatever works for you. It really helps. And my final tip for today is practice self-compassion. We are our worst critics, aren't we? Be kind to yourself. Be really kind to yourself. Treat yourself the way you treat a friend. Like, when you're feeling down, you probably wouldn't want your friend to be telling you you're not good enough, or why can't you be like them? Would you want your friend to say that to you? No, right? So don't ever say that to yourself. Be nice to yourself too. And you're kind of stuck with yourself, aren't you, for the rest of your life? So be nice to yourself. Treat yourself very nicely. I know, like, a lot of us tend to speak very negatively and be like, oh, I'll never be like this. I'll never do this. Like, why can't I just do this? Or whatever. You know, instead of that, try to change how you speak to yourself. Try to change the words that you usually use. You know, instead of should, I can, I will. Things like that. So yeah, speak nicely to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Treat yourself. Okay? And yeah, there you have it. My top tips for stopping the comparison game. Remember, your journey is uniquely yours, and that's what makes it so special. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share this video to anyone who might need a little boost. And as always, feel free to share your own tips in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, take care and keep being your amazing self. Bye!